This is so exciting. Shopping for vintage items isn't easy to do. So this morning, Courtney Zavala is joining us, the Vintage Contessa, to talk about tips of shopping vintage. Good morning.
Good morning. It's so good to be here.
You know, I'm drooling over everything that you've brought in. Tell us your backstory, though, the Vintage Contessa. How did you come up with all of this? I know you're a fashionista at heart.
I am. My husband's an estate jeweler, so we travel internationally buying collections. And because of my passion for fashion, I was always searching for these items on our travels. So we decided to diversify our business and include these. And the thing that makes us a little bit different than other companies is we actually buy all of our merchandise. So we have to really make sure it's authentic when we're purchasing it. So that's something that we've really focused on, is the details that you look for when you're purchasing a bag.
All right, well, let's get started with that, because you brought in some really great things, and I love this because everybody who doesn't want, at some point, ladies, to own one of these.
Yes, it's the coveted Birkin bag. And there's a lot of detailing that goes into authenticating these bags. And in fact, my husband just looked at a collection yesterday, and there were 4 fake Birkins and Kellys that someone showed us. So it's really so involved. It's about the stitching, it's about the texture of the leather, it's about the holograms.
Okay.
And I have actually delineated all of those things on my site, thevintagecontessa.com.
Great.
So if people are considering making a purchase, they need to really focus on all of the details that go into it.
Okay, so if this is not our price point, but something else is, you've got it all for everybody, don't you?
We do. We start with some of our Louis Vuitton monogram pieces at $400 and then go up from there. So there's a big savings when you buy vintage. You can get a great piece that maybe, it's like buying a pre-owned car. You could get something that someone has already paid for, the big ticket number, and driven it off the lot.
There you go. And you get to have some fun. And there's always some great stories, because you even have some things that are no longer in production that you've picked up along the way in your world travels, right?
Exactly. And in fact, I'm headed to Milan next week to see La Capon's Fashion Week, and also then going to Paris. But for example, these 2 bags right here that are Chanel, those are no longer available in the store. So the great thing about buying vintage is you are not generally going to walk in the room and see another woman carrying the same piece that you have. So there's a savings and a unique nature to it.
Absolutely.
And if only these bags could talk, wouldn't you want to hear what they have to say?
Absolutely, and it's a great conversation piece as well. We're out of time. We need to have you come back. Please do. We would love to have you, especially after all of your travels. And I just want to hold this. This will be the closest I ever get to this little doll. You could see a replay of this interview under the hot button. Click to Houston.com a little bit later in the show. We're going to tell you how to get in touch with the Vintage Contessa as well. Good to see you, Courtney. Thanks for coming in.